hello to all my Sagittarius friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for December 2021. Now today they've dialed up a specific work spread is what they want. We're going to set it up in the storyline format. We have big themes going on right now for Sagittarius work. We're going to get into those and see what is going on. Storyline spreads are great because they cast a very wide net across all the different Sagittarius, and that way we find the story that's right for you. I've had people say that multiple stories do resonate, and that does occur, but it's really about finding the one. So we're going to do that, see what the major work themes are for Sagittarius in December, and we're also going to conclude your reading with a chakra scrub. That's spiritual health. Look at all the different chakras, see what's kicking, what needs work, and get right into it right now. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save time. Go ahead and hit the like button and build up the energy in here. I'm going to bring you in so you can watch. There we go. What I'm doing now are my ritual cuts. I like to do that live and on camera, and also show you the base cards that I pull. Cuts the deck into 3 different pieces, puts it back together in a separate order, and then they're ready to run. That satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. So here we go with Sagittarius, storyline for work. I start this out with 4 cards, or 5 cards rather, and then I expand from there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's our main group. We're going to keep going. Looking for somebody to bend back in, and it hasn't happened yet. There it is. So there's our main group. That's really what I want you to see. We do have a lot of blockages that we're going to address in a moment, but this is my main group. This is what I want you to see. This is the main part of your December. So we have 4 inverts, 2 upright. It's taught that when 2/3 are like that, we do a discard basically to ask them if they'd like that uprighted or to be left the way it is. So that's that card, and it's inverted, so everything is going to go back up to be read more clearly. And I read it both ways. I read upright and invert. That expands the definition pool out from 78 to 156, so it just gives them more language to work with. But in this case, they want everything upright. So there we go. This is our main group that we're looking at. Now I need to get the sections here. These are going to go to all 3 here in one story. So we're looking at 3 different work stories here for Sagittarius. Going to expand on those now, get more cards to describe. And I'll adjust the camera too so you can see this better. Okay, so there's all the cards there. That's all set. Let's get, now I need an angel card for every story. And see how we are on the camera here. Storyline spreads get very large even if they're small. Like this is not a big one. This is 3 different stories, but it's still a lot of cards. It takes a lot of the table space. So there's the main group. That's what I wanted to show you. Let's get to work, Sagittarius, because we got to get to your chakra scrub too, and that's a big one within itself. All right, so making some more room for myself here as we're back in the wide angle view. I'm going to start with the smaller story. And I also need to tell you, since this is a work spread, your work corner expands out. It's not just work. What if you're retired? You do something in the place of work, whatever you spend the time doing instead of work. So your work corner can expand out. It can be about business, enterprise, area of study, retirement if you're of that age, learning anything new also falls into the work corner. New business, new enterprise, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so story number 1, Sagittarius, let's get going. First card that comes in is the Sun card. It's the best card in the deck. Wonderful golden energy. So all things blossoming and growing good there. There's a lot of work opportunities for Sagittarius in December. Really good month to take advantage of that. Now, specifically in this story, they want to talk about being a little tied down to work. So some of you here may be extremely, not completely immobilized, but definitely spending a lot of time at work, being tied down to projects, being tied down to positions or duties, responsibilities. All that kind of stuff comes up there in the 8 of Swords. Next is the Hermit card. So some of you may be working alone. That may also be the advice. I don't know if they're talking about describing what's going on or if they're giving you advice here that to work alone on something opposed to groups or sets or working with other people, all that kind of stuff. You might be better off alone here in this section. Also, it has to do with divine guidance. You're being guided in a direction here. Lots of good things there. We have breathe. is the Oracle Angel card here. Now this is usually breathe as far as like take a breath, so I mean maybe this can also be part of, it's getting so busy, it's getting ramped up. Even though they didn't say busy specifically, they did say confined. So that alludes to being busy. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be that way. But when breathe comes up, it's usually like, take a deep breath because, you need a rest. You need a breather, right? Well, in this case, it almost feels like it's like a change in the wind is what it feels like, really, especially with that sun card coming in. It's like environmental. It's like, oh, you can finally take a breath because it's like finally getting good. If things are finally turning around here or whatever it is specifically for you. So it's a good breathe card here. At the same time, it also reminds about pattern recognition, recognizing patterns, the lessons that you've learned in the situation, in the story, in regards to your work corner, so that you don't repeat them again, and also release old patterns. So if there's old things that keep coming up with work, residual things or things, even people, coworkers, they're telling me coworkers is a big theme here. So if, certain things keep coming up, eventually here you have to release this pattern, whatever that means specifically to you. Just giving you the kind of the generic version of that here. Good time to remind you too that this is a general reading. If you're looking for messages that are personal, private, specific to you, I do offer private readings on my website, scottsagent.com. A wide variety of different services from small all the way up to full service. And the best part is that they're all personalized. None of it uses the Sagittarius bubble energy that we're using here because there are a lot of Sagittariuses joining us. So as we move into story number 2, and Spirit does a really good job of organizing this for me. Got to give them credit where it's due. They make this, even though it's a general reading, they bring a lot of accuracy to it. They do a good job of organizing where you're all at here. So story number 2, first thing we want to talk about is energy pulling in 2 different directions. Really needs to get guided back to one here. So for some of you, this could be working on 2 different projects, 2 different jobs, 2 different whatever is going on in this corner that is pulling in 2 different directions here. It's kind of like you're in the cart and one horse is going this way, one horse is going this way. And they're saying that's just not good for you. Definitely not in December, at least. So this really, you need to get these horses back on track to bring your cart or to bring your vehicle, down a direction that you need to go on here. They talk about action on one side of it and the other side is easy work. So you're almost taking action toward the easy side here, and I would probably advise you do that. Don't go the hard route here. If there's 2 different ways you can take your work corner this month, definitely go the easier route. The more difficult route may be better addressed at a later time, something like that, because they're showing easy work here, easy money. Make the money while you can, while it's easy flow, because that's also what I show. I show easy flow money. Take advantage of it. So very, very good things for Sagittarius. Just keep in mind with that energy split that they really want you to reel that in here in story 2. So we do have action. We have the action. A lot has to do with mental action. I have the Knight of Swords representing that. So the action might not even be physical. It just may be action within your mind, like deciding when you're going to do something. Okay, I'm gonna leave this job, April, or I'm going to leave this job after I do this, or basically you're setting goals. You're making up your mind about things. You're not actually doing it. But December is a really good time to make up your mind with anything here in story 2 that's going on with work, especially if it's about this split. And we have these 2 different things. Good time to make up your mind about those. Doesn't mean you have to act on it, but at least get to a place where your mind is basically made up and you're in a good spot there. Over here in story 2, they show that there's extremely tied down here. So I don't know if that's just to one. They didn't say it's on one side of the split or both. It's really just tied down to your work corner. So a lot of you are immobilized here. It's a more severe version of story 1, kind of the same vibe though. So you can see the congruence here and how these go. They want you to be courageous here in story number 2. Really stand up for yourself and take risks. It's a good risk time here. A lot of times I give the counter advice to that, where it's a good time to be conservative. Well, actually here, it's actually a good time to be a little liberal, be a little risky, go for it. We have action here, so there's nothing really holding back right here. The only caveat is that there's extreme tie down here. But that could be a good thing, because if you're really tied down to work, a lot of times that means good money follows that. And that's what they show. They show easy money. So there's storyline number 2. Before I get into 3, which is the very big one, I do want to talk about the moon cycles, because the moon cycles, affect all of this, I like to give you guys the forecast of what they're doing every single month so you know what's coming, how you can take advantage of those. We have the new moon on December the 4th. That's a perfect time to bring anything new into your life. Manifest anything new. So I don't have anything new on 2, but story number 1, we have that sun golden energy where there's a good time, good window of opportunity to do anything new. December, work. Perfect new moon energy, beginning of the month, also at the very end of the month. That comes back, getting ready for January there. So that's what you want to take advantage of, the new moon stuff. Even if you're trying to attract new love, new health, doesn't matter. Anything new you're trying to bring in, beginning of the month, perfect time to do that, right near that new moon. We have the full moon adversely. That comes in on December the 18th, and that is the garbage truck of the universe. That's when you want to get something out of your life, something that doesn't fit anymore. So for example, the split of the energy between 2 different areas of your work here in story number 2. If one of them's got to go, the middle of the month is such a much better time to do that, much better time to address it. It'll make it stick, it'll make it easier, all that kind of stuff. And it doesn't have to be about work. This could be about anything in your life. Let's say you got to move on from a past lover, or you got to stop dating somebody, or whatever it is, wherever this falls, or even stopping a habit. You could break a bad habit here. Middle of the month, perfect time to do that. Doesn't have to be on the 18th, anytime toward the middle, but not at the beginning, not at the end. That's new moon energy, and that's harder to change, getting stuff out. Much about bringing stuff in. So there's your moon cycles, story number 1 and 2, and how they kind of wrap into that. Well, let's get into story number 3. That is your big one here. They're showing me very, very heavy on the feminine message here. So this is mostly going to be my females or my softer energy, because, masculine energy or males can be feminine and be softer as well. So I like to leave that at least a little bit open, but usually we're just talking about females here. They're showing that there's 2 different sets of females here going on. There's the side that is like the working Sagittarius female, extremely busy with work, extremely focused on work. And then we have the other Sagittarius female who's very focused on love, her love corner, which is love, family, friends, the home, all that kind of stuff. Almost like stay-at-home mom vibe, but doesn't mean you have to be that, but it's just a big focus on that. So for my message for the working, that they describe as the working Sagittarius females, or the softer energy Sagittariuses. Don't let it affect your love relationship. That's the main thing, is don't work yourself to death. Don't spend so much time outside of the home or at work that it affects the relationship. I have the Lover's card inverted here, or upside down. So basically we just want to make sure that stays upright. We want to make sure that you keep a good balance between the 2. For the ones that we're talking about, the love, the family, here the message is really to kind of hold it in right now. Kind of keep it in. Don't spend it out. And a lot of this is financial. This is a large financial message in regards to hoarding. A lot of you may have been saving up money for a goal or for a reason. This is a good month to kind of open it up. It's a good month to, well, no, not open it up, but kind of open it up, but be cautious about how you open it up, because it's actually the hoarder card inverted. So it's saying it's okay to be a hoarder. So when you spend, just make sure it has a purpose. Overall, it's okay to kind of internalize it, or to keep it in the family. It feels very almost like keeping it in the family, like with Christmas and with gifts, and basically stuff that will stay in-house. That's really what it feels like. That's kind of the best vibe I can give you there, or at least the best advice of what they're bringing up. For a lot of you, they're saying that some of you are even both of these 2 things, and that you're kind of like jockeying this line in between the 2. And sometimes you don't see clearly as far as which needs the most energy when. That's really what comes up here. They say that you almost feel like you're driving a little blind here, or you're not seeing exactly which way this is going when. The advice for you here, if that's you, is really to clear your space. That's the Angel Oracle card I have here. Really clear the energy around you. Get rid of clutter. I mean, this can be physical cleaning stuff too, but it's also energetic. So you want to just make sure that your environment is a good environment, even if it's work. If it's a work environment, make sure you have a good work environment. And same for home. Really, the energy around you needs to be pure in December. Very clear, very clean energy is what we really want there in story 3. Now, before I get into your chakra scrub, we're going to get into your spiritual health. I do want to tell you about the Facebook page. I do giveaways every single month on Facebook. Please make sure you follow that. Right around the 20th and the 21st is when I do my giveaways every month. Always giving something away new there. And also the newsletter program. make sure you're signed up for the newsletter, because I just did a huge giveaway, the biggest ever. Everybody signed up for the newsletter, got a free reading. Now, I do that once in a while. Make sure you're signed up so you can take advantage of the next one. You do that for... It's absolutely free. It's at the very bottom of my website, scottsagent.com. You scroll to the bottom, you enter your first name, last initial, your email address, you send that off, and then you're in the email program, the newsletter program. And I only send one newsletter out a month. It's just for updates and promo codes to save you guys money on readings, all kinds of good stuff there. So it's a no-brainer, and lots of benefits come out of that. So that's the newsletter and the Facebook. Now let's get into your chakra scrub. Make a little bit of room. I'm actually going to cut out so I can reshuffle these cards. We used a lot of cards, so I want to make sure I give them the opportunity, if they'd like to bring that back up in the form of the cards that we already used. So I will be right back. Okay, Sagittarius, I'm back. I've reshuffled the deck right now. I'm doing the ritual cuts again, because I do it every single time. Put it back together in separate order, then we run it. Chakra Scrub goes, I do it top to bottom. I may talk about it in a different order, but here we go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Interestingly enough, everything came in upright. That is statistically almost impossible, but very cool to see. No inverts, no blockages, nothing there. I do need a couple oracle cards to describe a few things more. There's a couple major things here. All right, let's start from the bottom here. I'm showing pain. I'm showing pain in the lower, in the root. Your pain, your root chakra is your extremities, your arms, your legs, your sexual organs, your pelvic area, your tailbone. All that kind of stuff is root chakra stuff. And physical stuff pops up in here. And since I have pain, it makes me feel like it's more on the physical than the spiritual side of it. So there is like a level of heartbreak. Heartbreak's probably not the right word, but it's that sharp kind of sharp pain there. So some of you have been going through some kind of level of pain there in your root chakra. If not, that's wonderful. This message is just not for you. But that's what they show to begin. Now, as we move up from that, they show number 2 coming in very good. Number 3 coming in very good. That's your orange and your yellow. So emotional center in orange, checking in very good. There's messages coming in there, so they're doing a lot of emotional communication with you in the month of December. Very good, not worried about it. And your willpower is the yellow. That's what I just said was checking in really good. That shows brand new vibe there. So your willpower also very strong in the month of December. Very good, Sagittarius. Take advantage of that. Especially ambition, getting up and doing something, a new project, whatever it is that you've been kind of holding back on, December is really a good time to do that. Now, when we get into your heart, that's where things start. Well, it's not bad. It's just different. A lot of you with your heart chakra, it's coming in like brand new energy. It's brand new energy. So I don't know if this is like a new partner or somebody new that you care about coming in, or seeing an old family member or an old friend, somebody you haven't seen in a while. But this is coming in like brand new energy here. So, and it also says peace. The Oracle Angel card talks about how, that only love is real, and to find that through peace. So whatever helps bring your heart place to a better, happier, peaceful time. That's what we really want to have happen in December. So energetically, when it comes in that clean slate like that, I'm not worried about it, but you have the ability to rewrite it right now. It's like a new heart chakra is like being birthed. So just, keep that in mind as you move forward through December, and also just, be a little kind to yourself, especially when it comes to your heart. As we move up from there, we get into the throat, coming in extremely good. Your throat communication is right on point. Sagittarius, you guys love to be vocal, love to talk. It's showing that it's just really good. So, I mean, if there's any kind of stuff that you have to use your voice for, let's say a podcast, let's say giving a presentation at work or something like that where you're using your voice, very, very good time to do that. It's your connection between spiritual and the physical is really sharp on your throat, your throat chakra there. Moving up to third eye, message coming in. Again, good thing to see, nothing to really worry about. It's coming through the air, so this is a very strong like meditation thing. You might have very strong meditations in December. If that's not something you've done before, you may want to consider beginning meditation, because it's a very sensitive month. Now, as I say sensitive, I pull the card for sensitivity for the crown chakra. So this is just showing how attuned you Sagittariuses will be, not just always, but in December specifically. It's just that the vibe of the astrology or whatever it is, it's just going to be a very sensitive month for Sagittarius, which can be a good thing and a bad. But here in the crown chakra, they're saying that you're learning new things. New things are coming in through the top. So this is the lunar, this is the sun energy, this is the cosmic space radiation, all that good stuff coming in from the top. Good time to learn new things. Really good month to learn new things. If there's something you've been wanting to learn, whether it's some of you, they're telling me language, but for some of you, it's like crafts and trades and like learning new skills, a new skill set. Really good time to start that in December. Doesn't mean that it's going to get wrapped up or get completed in December, but they say that your sensitivity is so high and we have learning new things. It's like they go together, just like you're a sponge right here. You can really soak up all this good energy and use it for something positive in the month of December. There's actually really nothing bad in that entire chakra scrub. So there's just a few positive things that are so good and so positive that they wanted you to focus on those. So that's what we got there. We have been through your entire chakra scrub. We've been through all the storylines for your work. I do want to thank you for joining me. I know it's been a lot and probably a long reading, but that's okay. I hope you guys like long readings. A lot of good things there. So I hope you take away some parts that are important to you, the story that, that really resonates with you so you can implement positive change into your December, because a lot of good stuff exists there. So we're going to wrap up here. I hope you all have happy holidays with your family and loved ones. I'll see you all soon.